Easter is one of the most recognized holidays in the world today, but it's also one of the most misunderstood because depending on who you ask, Easter means something completely different. For some people, it's about eggs, it's about candy and traditions. For others, it's deeply religious. And for many, it's kind of something in between. But what makes Easter interesting isn't just what it is today. It's how all of those meanings came together. Because Easter didn't start as one simple celebration. It became one. And at its core, Easter is about something that shows up across almost every single culture in the world. Rebirth, renewal, new life. And for me personally, it's about the death and resurrection of Jesus. That's the foundation of what Easter means to me. But what's interesting is that the idea of renewal didn't start in just one place. Long before modern Easter even existed, people were already celebrating this same moment in time. The changing of seasons, the shift from winter into spring, the point where everything starts coming back to life. If you enjoy learning the deeper side of history like this, make sure to subscribe because there's a lot more behind everyday things than a lot of people really think. But this is where the spring equinox will come in. All over the world, different cultures mark this transition. But not with the same stories, not with the same beliefs, but with the same recognition. Something is changing. Life is returning. Darkness is giving way to light. You see it in ancient Europe. You see it in Middle Eastern traditions. You see it in early agricultural societies that depended on the land. Because after a long winter, spring wasn't just nice. It meant survival. And over time, different cultures created their own ways of marking that moment. Festivals, symbols, traditions. Eggs became a symbol of new life. Animals associated with fertility became part of the imagery. And as time went on, these traditions didn't disappear. They blended. This is where Easter becomes what we recognize it as today. A combination of different traditions layered on top of each other over time. Now, here's something a lot of people don't really realize. Easter isn't just one day. At least it didn't start that way. In many Christian traditions, Easter is part of a much longer season, a period of reflection, preparation, and different meanings. Lent, for example, it lasts around 40 days leading up to Easter. And even beyond that, Easter itself is part of a larger timeline that extends past just one Sunday. But in modern Western culture, like the United States, we've compressed all of that into one single day, one moment, one celebration, which is interesting because the original idea was never meant to be rushed. It was meant to be experienced over time. And I think that says something about how we live now. Because now everything is go, go, go. You get one day, and then you go back to work, right? We tend to take things that were once slow and meaningful and we make them fast and simple, right? Because we gotta get back to work. But if you actually step back and take a look at the bigger picture, Easter is not just one thing. It's layers, it's history, it's belief, it's also traditions, and it's meaning that's been built over thousands and thousands of years. And here's where it gets really interesting. Even though people celebrate Easter in different ways across the world in different cultures, and they believe different things about it, there is still a common thread running through all of it. Renewal, second chances, new beginnings. And whether somebody sees that through faith, through nature, or through traditions, that idea still holds. Different perspectives, different beliefs, but all pointing to something very, very similar underneath it all. And maybe that's why Easter has lasted as long as it has, because it connects to something that people recognize. Even if they explain it differently, even if they experience it differently. But when you look at Easter today, whether it's through faith, tradition, or just the changing of the seasons, you're actually looking at something much bigger than just one holiday. You're looking at thousands of years of people trying to understand the same moment in time, the return of life, the idea that things can begin again. And maybe that's the part that matters the most.